biggest influencer. In fact, we have with ourselves the longest lasting relationship. We speak to ourselves more than we speak to anybody else. And so as we go about on today, we'll dive into that and we'll get further. This statement right here, you are your own biggest influencer, resonates with me so well. At my highest, that's me there. At my highest, I was 515 pounds. And basically imprisoned in my own body, bone on bone, arthritis in both knees, and just wanting to be able to be a better mom, a better girlfriend at that time, now a wife. 9 years. My beautiful husband, thank you so much. And my friends here with me, thank you so much. But at that time, imprisoned in my own body, dealing with if I'm going to a party, I want to know, well, are they going to have chairs so I can sit down? If they have chairs, are the chairs going to have arms? If they don't have arms, is it going to be sturdy enough? And as you can think about that, that's just like a lot of stuff. That's just constantly in your head that you're speaking back and forth. But maybe you might not be able to relate to that. Maybe you wasn't 5'15". But I want you to think about today. As you were getting ready for today and you were getting ready for the event, how many of us was in our head like, oh my God, it's going to be hot. Oh my God, I wonder if there's going to be parking. Oh my God, will I fit in with everybody? Or maybe you was running late and you were trying, I don't know if we have parents up in here, you were trying to get the kids ready, the grandkids ready, just a lot of stuff going on. But I know we had a yoga festival, so it might be a little bit different here. You know, us yogis, we tend to know how to bring positivity into ourselves. But however, studies show that 75% of the conversation that we have is negative talk. I'm not going to really call it negative talk today. I'm going to call it non-serving talk. Non-serving talk. So again, while you didn't dress this morning, did you speak life into yourself? Because we all know what you speak is what you receive. There's life and death in the power of the tongue, right? And so did you speak life? Did you, when you thought about the fact that it was hot, did you say, well, Lord, I'm about to get some of that good vitamin D? Did you flip the script, right? When you thought about stuck in traffic, I don't know if any of y'all was stuck in traffic and how traffic was with you. Did you say, okay, Lord, I got a minute to just relax? Because these things are important. What you tend to focus on is what you receive. I'll tell you a quick story and then we'll get into it. There was a bishop that visited one of my churches before, and he was stuck in traffic. And you typically got 2, maybe 3 different personalities in traffic, right? You can be in traffic, and I don't know if you're the kind that's in traffic and you like, move along, please, right? And then you got some people that's in traffic and they kind of chill. And you might be a little upset with them if you one of those move along, please, like, what do you got going on? But it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. Either way they go, you stuck in traffic. And whether if you're there angry or whether if you're there chill, decides how you are affected and decides how you look at that day. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes it's like, what they say, when it rains, it pours. You know, it's once you start thinking to have these non-serving thoughts, it's just like stuff just continues to fall and pile upon each other, all right? And so, like I said, we want to dive into this again today because there are certain these thoughts that we have. We just want to break it down and let you know that, unfortunately, we all have these different thoughts, okay? But it's okay. If you did not take the time on today to pour yourself some self-love and to motivate yourself, we're going to find the importance in that on today before we leave up out of here. And if you take the information that I give you, you'll be more conscious of it along the week, along your day, and so forth, because this right here, it takes intentionality. Like, it's something that we have to intentionally do because life be lifing. And you know, and we tend to sometimes focus on what's not going right than looking at the better perspective. And so some thoughts that may form up in your head, and we will get to interact on together is self-criticism. We're coming to a yoga festival. I don't know if anybody was like, oh, my body isn't limber enough. I'm not going to be able to do the moves. I can't get down on the floor. You're looking at your partner while they're doing it, and you're like, my leg doesn't go like their leg, you know? How about worry, fear, anger, guilt? I should have got up earlier. I said I was going to be here at this time. I didn't get up here at this time, and so, no, you're just thrown off, you know, versus you just saying, yesterday, the Ring camera caught me. God works mysteriously, right? The Ring camera caught me. and I was running late for work, and I left out of the house with my purse on my back, right? But I got halfway down our little aisle and then turned around to go get my purse, forgetting, oh, your purse on your back. So I did a loop and turned around to go back to the car. And then so a few steps in, I noticed, oh, you don't have your lunch bag. So I did a loop and the green camera caught me like, ah, you know, right? And so I get to the car, and guess what? I left my cell phone. We cannot leave the house without these cell phones these days. And so about time in, I said, okay, God, I see you're protecting me from something. So I pulled it in together. I took a deep breath. I said, go inside, get your cell phone. Call me to pass me the cell phone. But I changed my thinking. I slowed my pace, not allowing life situations to continue to take me off beat and off rapid. Then the next thing you know, I could have been driving in traffic. I could have got into a wreck. Maybe God was protecting me. You know, everything happens for a reason. So I said, okay, God, I think you must be doing something, because this is, I'm not that type of person to leave everything, you know. Maybe you might find that your thoughts are like rumination, that you tend to focus on the problem and not the solution. Maybe we've got some bills that's piling up, you know. I don't know about y'all, if you're a homeowner in Florida, the insurance rates are going up, and just different things that's happening. Life be life, right? And we can tend to focus on what we don't have, what's not right, instead of thinking about what can I do for a solution? How can I move forward? And that's what we want to do on today. We don't want to exaggerate either and go worst case scenario on one extreme is this way, and if it's not this way, then it must be way over here to the next extreme. We want to find ourselves in a medium. And not blaming ourselves for different things that's out of our control. A lot of the stuff that we come up with in life, that we face in life, is out of our control. And again, it's kind of like the situation in traffic. You're gonna be there, and so don't cause extra stress on yourself that you don't have to cause. And so I call myself Rissa. My name is Clarissa. So I'm like, Rissa, why does this matter? Why does it matter? Because you are your own biggest person that you conversate with. You are the longest lasting relationship. Think about it. Your spouse, you've been with yourself longer than you've been with your spouse. Your children, you've been with yourself longer than you've been with your children. Parents, they come and go, right? But you're with yourself. You're with yourself. Even if right now your parents are still here and you have more time with them, but you have more time physically with yourself. So if we're going to check other people from what they say to us, of course we have to check ourselves and what we say to ourselves, and just make sure that we're saying self-serving topics. Self-serving topics. And so to speak positively, intentionally, there's a few different things, and if we got any note takers, feel free to take notes. If not, it's okay. All right? We got no cell phones, but if not, just absorb it. All right? So the first we've been kind of talking about is we want to monitor our inner dialogue. We want to monitor our inner dialogue. Pay attention to the words and the phrases when we're talking to ourselves. Whenever you catch yourself engaging in non-serving talk, flip it. Flip it. What is the opposite of what it is that you're trying to obtain? And flip that thing. Practice gratitude. Gratitude, just taking the time to look at the ducks walking by. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and there's not all that many ducks and stuff about it. When you see live animals, when you see fish and so forth, you go to the beach, you see fish, a lot of times they dead. Here in South Florida, we have so much that we can just look at it and tell God, like, thank you. Thank you for this. You know, your family, even if the kids get on your nerves, you know, there's going to be a time to where you want to hear that pitter-patter, where you want to hear that ruckus inside of the house. You know, so just finding something to be grateful for. Your job. There's some people that's wishing that they had that 9 to 5 that you have, even though, you know, you know. All right. I'm using positive affirmations. Speaking positive. And the thing is with affirmations, sometimes we make them real general and blanket. I am happy. I want to be happy. I will be happy. We'll talk about later on how to do affirmations the right way as we go around it. Important, surround yourself with positivity. those that you keep around you is very important. It's like you can have some people that will either sap your energy, or you'll have some that'll bring you energy, and it makes a huge difference that you surround yourself with positive environments. Practice self-compassion. Give yourself some grace. We're not perfect. We're not perfect, and we make mistakes and we get things wrong. And look at these different grace things as an opportunity to grow from, you know, as an opportunity to be able to move forward with, all right? So intentionally speaking positively involves consciously choosing to uplift, empower, and encourage your inner language dialogue in interactions with others as well, not just with yourself, but with others as well. It's about cultivating a mindset that focuses on good and seeking solutions rather than dwelling on the problems. All right, so I want us to practice. I said we're going to interact together. I want us to practice. All right, if I can get, and I'm going to walk you through it, and it's going to be very easy, so don't be nervous, okay? If I can get, I really want 6 people. That means it's going to be a good amount of us that's interacting. If I can get 6 people to come together, we can get a group of 3 here and a group of 3 here for the 6 people, and you'll get together. Okay, so we have 1. Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, I got giveaways. All right, little small giveaways. I also have a scan PC here that somebody's gonna win a Bath and Body Works gift card. Can I get the 6 people? All right. So we can. And you can sit down. You can be relaxed. We can get 3 people here, and then we can get 3 people here. Like however you can get together. Okay. So you 3 will be a team. All right. All right. Okay. You practicing, Giselle, or you want to be part of the 3?
I can.
Okay.
Do you need a third person?
Yeah, they do. They do. Well, she'll come. She'll. You want to come up if you want to do the 3? Awesome. Team 1, team 2. Now I'm a little competitive sometimes. All right. So a little competition is okay. It's healthy competition. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to practice reframing our thoughts. Reframing our thoughts. Like I said, we have so many different thoughts that we go about throughout today. I'm going to give some examples, all right? So the first scenario, we're looking for a scenario. So one of you, or together, you'll create a scenario, and then you'll share with the group what your scenario is. And then we're going to have one person that's going to give a non-serving thought. All right, and then we're going to have another person that's going to back it up with a positive thought. I'll go over it again. Don't worry, I got you. Okay, so giving examples of how this flows. So first is the scenario. In this particular scenario, you cook dinner, and once again, the rice is sticking to the bottom of the pot, and it tastes a little funny. I don't know if we got any chefs in here that cannot relate to that, but rice is one of the hardest things to cook sometimes. So your non-serving talk may go something like this. I always mess up things. Cooking is not for me. All right? Or you can flip that and you can be positive thinking. And you can say, it's okay. I'm learning from this mistake and I will succeed the next time I cook. All right? Let me give you another scenario. You're practicing yoga and you keep falling out of your poses. Everybody can relate to that, right? It feels like everybody is watching me. Your non-serving thought may be, I suck at yoga, my body is stiff, all right? But our positive self-talk will go something like, practice makes perfect. I deserve to be here, and I'm showing up for myself, and I am getting better at yoga. You get that? You see, like, you can have, it's all about perspective. You can have something take place in life, and it's up to us to decide, are we going to have non-serving talk that's going to beat us down, have us feel guilty, have us not feeling good, or are we going to have serving talk that's going to cheer us up, that's going to motivate us? What you want to think of is, what would I tell a friend? Maybe even more so a friend or stranger. If they was going through the same situation, what would I tell? Because we tend to be nicer to others than we are to ourselves. You know, especially, and it seems like, even when it comes to family and stuff, when you're too close, you keep it too real, right? But let's make it positive talk. So, our 6 volunteers, thank you so much. So I want you to get together, and don't worry, we're gonna have open discussion where everybody gets a chance to chime in on today. I want you to get together and come up with a scenario. You're gonna come up with your own scenario, right? Whatever you wanna think of. And then one of you is going to be the positive person, and one of you is going to be the negative person. We'll give you, let's say, 3 minutes. They ready?
Standing for the juice. It was like, what's this? 1 o'clock. Okay.
All right. Do we have the team that want to go first? All right. You want me to give it to you again? What you doing, or you got it? You got it? Okay, come on up. You guys get your hands.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be the non-serving.
You have the scenario?
Yeah, the scenario is I just got a brand new car. The car is not even 2 months old. And somebody ran into me on Tuesday. Oh, no. So, it's like, you hit my brand new car. You ran into me. You hit my car. I got scratches all over. I bet you don't have no insurance. And I bet you probably don't speak English. So,
And the
positive.
And the serving thought is that they actually did have insurance, and no one thankfully got hurt, and
the joyful outcome is that the insurance paid for it.
Can I
Yeah.
chime in? Okay, I would add to her that she survived. She didn't die.
Yeah,
So
that was what she said.
right. So God saved her for a purpose. So my thought is to figure out what is my purpose. So that's it.
I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
The insurance took care of everything.
I have another positive spin on it.
Go ahead.
If it was
Let's
like
get it.
somebody of the opposite sex, I could be like your new boo.
Say it one more time.
It was a woman.
One of those rom-com situations.
I like it. Whatever you got to do to get us together, get us together. And so we had this scenario. The scenario was that she just got her brand new car, right? We all know when we get our brand new car, we act a little funny sometimes, you know? And so you got your brand new car, and then somebody hit this car. And so, again, the first thoughts was, the non-serving thoughts was, I bet they don't have insurance, or, you know, being upset toward this person, and so forth. And then the positive thought was, I'm alive. I made it. Thinking positive that they have insurance, thinking positive that they're going to get out of this car and they're going to be understanding. We're not going to feud, we're not going to fight, and everything will be taken care of. My insurance is going to take care of me. Everything is going to be okay. Like, thinking about those two. Like, if you, and you ladies can have a seat if you want. If you started off that thought with the negative thinking, like, how do you think you feel? You're inside this car. Your first thought is the non-serving thought. Heart rate's probably pumping. You're frustrated and so forth. Versus if you think positive first. Everything's gonna be okay. I have life. All is good. Like, you feel different. Like, I even feel different saying it. You know, did you notice how my voice changed? Even saying it. Awesome job. Next one.
I'll do the scenario. So the scenario is that Ms. Charmaine, she's tried to change her eating habit, and she's trying to change her lifestyle, and she wants to have a better lifestyle, eating better for her health and for her energy. She's trying to get away from, you know, what she learned how to eat fried food, junk food, and now she's on that journey of eating healthy food. And so she's gonna do the meditation.
Yes, I just bought the chips in the house. I ate the chips, so now I'm feeling guilty. And then I'm trying to prepare a meal, watching YouTube, and I can't get it. I'm so stupid. Everybody else is getting this but me. Why can't I get this eating the potato chips?
So, to put a positive spin, okay, Maggie, you can do this. We're gonna try to get these temptations out of the house. Let's get rid of the chips and just try it again.
I'm not going to give up.
I'm not giving up this time.
Yes.
Adding to my healthy lifestyle.
The first step is to try.
Yes.
Journey of 1,000 miles
Changes
begins with one step.
Changes the process.
Don't buy the food. Don't walk out the supermarket with the chips.
Right.
Commitment.
It's just one meal. It's not the rest of the week that you're gonna do this.
Thank you. That scenario right there, like when I tell you I know that scenario right there oh so well, again, at the journey starting from 5:15, still continue to work on my journey. It just seems like we have those days where like we're trying to do right and we just tend to fall short. And like many of you said, we have to give ourselves grace. And then also speaking to ourselves, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have bought the chips, but we did, and it's here. And so remembering that take it after this chip, I'm going to do right. Like pick back up afterwards, and then also tell yourself, I don't have to eat the whole bag. Even if I have the chips, I don't have to eat the whole bag. But speaking life into yourself, and even if you did slip up, that you're giving yourself grace. You're giving yourself grace, knowing that tomorrow is another day, the next second is another second, and I have the opportunity to fix it. It's not all thrown and thrown away. The cookie wasn't coming out right, and so forth. It's still edible. 9 times out of 10, right? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I have an idea. Okay, if it's something that, sometimes we feel like we need something really, really badly, and we just have to get it. My solution is that we could buy it and share it with others so that you don't have to eat it all by yourself, or buy a smaller bag instead of a big bag, just to get rid of that crave.
Absolutely. It's like we have this here inside of the house. It's here now, so let me see how I can share it, how I can share something. Yes.
So I just started, even though I'm slim as possible, I just started drinking water to limit and eliminate my eating habits. I'm not eating junk food, nothing like that. So it can just balance.
Well, I saw your hand up too, but let me say, like eating healthy does not have a number on the scale, right? Just because you're smaller doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy. Just because you're larger doesn't necessarily mean that your insides aren't healthy as well. And so making sure we're drinking water, making sure we're limiting processed foods, making sure that we're eating balance and so forth. It's like it's important for everybody. Get a fitness in, get a movement in. It's important for everybody. So awesome job on you, saying, you know what, let me take a step to have better health, to have longevity, to not just be here living, but to be living here with good quality. Again, I'll go back to sharing at my highest, 515 pounds, to stand here in front of you guys, the knees wouldn't do it. And I probably would be here buckling in sweat and so forth. And so taking those lifestyle changes, so that we're not just here, but we're living, and we're living good life. We down there on the floor in the grass, all doing yoga and stuff. Be proud of yourself. That you're here, that you took this Saturday to come out and do something that feeds into you. So many of us, after we finish high school and so forth, we kind of like stop doing certain things. We stop picking up books, we stop reading, we get so busy with the kids and so forth, and we don't take time to feed into ourselves. So awesome job on you guys coming to celebrate you. Literally celebrate you.
Another spin that I was thinking about with your example about the recipe too is that sometimes you have an idea of, I want to try this particular recipe, and let's say it doesn't come out the way you thought. However, you just might have created a whole other type of recipe from the mistake, quote unquote. Because like how you mentioned that example, like I'm Dominican and us, we take the bottom of the rice and we, on purpose, we call it con con. So, it's like we do that on purpose. Like my grandma only eats the con con. When she makes rice, she literally will burn the rice on purpose so she can get that bottom part.
And when you use that example, I was like, no, that's not a lot of beans on top of it.
With beans, that's how she eats it. Like every time we're gonna give her rice, she's like, déjame con con. Like leave her the con con, and then everybody else gets the regular rice. So yeah, that's
we
like
learned something. Right. But that's
and Puerto Ricans do too, but they call it pegao. But the point is that we do that on purpose. But I'm sure that happens because somebody was like, oh my gosh, I burned the rice, and then somebody's like, oh, this is actually good.
Perspective.
Yes.
Right. Perspective is the biggest thing there. What do you see out of what you've created, out of what's taking place? Perspective. Thank you for sharing it. I'm gonna have to go try to taste. Do you still call it burnt rice? What do you call it?
Kong kong.
I'm gonna have to go try it. Go let my rice stick a little bit on purpose. Yes, ma'am. You have it.
In these do that too. They have a dish called the sticky pot or hot pot or something. And it's the burnt rice, and I love it.
Okay, I'm look, the next time my rice stick to the bottom of the pot, I did that on purpose.
Exactly. I feel like put some little olive oil in there.
Or you can't use that as an example anymore because for the sponsor.
Right. But no, but that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that goes exactly into what I'm saying. It's all about perspective. Everything that we face in life, it's all about perspective. And you can have that one person that's now frustrated and they're upset because the rice stuck to the pot, and the other one is like, no, you didn't get my sticky rice. You didn't do it right. You know, and so it's all about perspective. All about perspective.
So now when you do burn the rice, right, and you say, you self-talk yourself, you say, it's okay, the Dominicans eat conco.
Exactly. Exactly. And so,
you know, Caribbean people, we're always gonna make a positive spin out of something negative. Like that's just part of the culture. We will make. That's why you be seeing when there's hurricanes, when there's tornadoes, they're outside riding the waves of the storm because it's like we're gonna have a party no matter what, even if we're dying. We're gonna ride it till we die. That's just how they.
So I had a question. It's good that you said Korean. So Korean.
Okay.
So I just want to know if because my mom, she makes sticky rice like how Asian make it. So is that like acceptable for the sticky rice? Because you put vinegar. I don't know.
Okay, so you're asking, is the sticky rice healthy?
Yes.
Okay, so now this is a whole nother conversation that we get into, but I'll touch on it real quick and then we'll stay down here. And so I am a big person of portion sizes. You know, monitor your portion sizes and so forth. Now, of course, you can look at brown rice opposed to white rice. You can look and see what else did you put inside the rice. Are you loading it with butter and so forth? Are you using a healthier oil like Giselle mentioned olive oil, I think I heard her say. Put a little bit of olive oil or something on there. So it's all in the preparation. It's all in the quantity as well. And then it's also all about your lifestyle with it. You know, are you going to go eat your serving of rice and then go lounge on the couch for the rest of the time? Or will you go out with your family and have a walk or get some movement in or do something? And so it's so many things, you know, that play into it. But I am not a person that says you cannot have rice. You know, it's all about portion sizes. It's all about moderation. Now it's different if rice is your vice. You know, it's like when I eat rice, I can't stop. You know, I gotta continue to have so much. Then that's something that you want to be careful and you want to limit it because it's your vice. But however, is rice unhealthy? All of that plays a part. You got your hand raised? Oh, I was like, okay. Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
How long did it take for you to get from your 515 to where you are now?
So this has been a 9-year journey. This has been a 9-year journey. I did start off, I have all the information here inside of my books and so forth. It's also a 90-day transformation program to help guide you along. I did start off with a sleeve. At 5'15", I got down about 150 pounds. Then me and my husband decided to get pregnant, right? I gained 20 pounds, had a miscarriage, unfortunately. 3 months later, I got pregnant. We now have our 7-year-old Abram, but I gained 20 pounds during that pregnancy. And then after having Abram, I wasn't ready to get back on it yet, so I gained another 10 pounds. And so I found myself 3 years out post-sleeve, back up to 424 pounds and able to eat a full meal. And so scared, I felt like a failure. You know, all those different negative self-thoughts come in. And God just guided me to say, come on, Rissa, let's get back on this thing. I started working out, others started start following me on social media. We have a huge community online from across the world that join in, and we support each other, health, wellness, and spirituality, because without God, I would not. I suffer back from depression, isolation, just so many different things and so forth. But it's all about the mindset. But it's been a 9-year journey, working on the health, working on the mind, working on the confidence, working on, you know, so many different things. But most importantly, like every day, getting back up, saying, do it again. Give yourself grace, do it again. And that's no matter what goal it is that you're working at, you know, whether it's to be an author, whether it is to start a business, whether it is to be the best mom that you can be each day, getting back up and starting all over again. And so I'm loving the discussion. Let me check my time. We have time for like 1 or 2 discussion questions, and then I'll pull it in. And so, how did this feel for you, ladies and gents? How did this feel for you doing this positive self-talk example? Like, how did this feel? How did it go for you?
Well,
do you find that you notice that, man, I do need to change around the thoughts that I'm having? These scenarios that we're given here is how I tend to typically think. Right?
It's true. You have to. Yeah, initially the first thought that comes to your mind, which again, it happened to me, and I'm like, she hit me, and I saw.
So this was real.
Yeah, this just happened on Tuesday for real. I just got my car in March. So, but it wasn't a hard hit. The car was drivable. It's just a scratch. So she did hit me, and like I said, I was coming down 27th Avenue, going south, and there's 3 lanes in the morning, traffic back to back. Nobody can't go anywhere, and she's coming. And I see her, and I'm just blowing, and she still, bam, went into me. So I got out of the car, I looked at my car, jumped back in my car, got a picture of her tag, so she wouldn't leave. But I was like, okay, are you okay? I was like, we need to get out of the street, and we were able to coast off on the side of the street, and she wasn't hurt. She had her kid in the car, you know. I called the police. She didn't want me to. Then I said, she probably don't have no insurance, but she did have insurance. She just didn't want her insurance to go up. And I said, I'm sorry, we got a call. Yeah, this is my brand new car. But you have to put things in perspective, because I could have been driving to work and I could have been on a collision because of the traffic. So yeah, I reeled it back in, but the first thought was all of those things.
It's okay. It's okay if the first thought that you have is, because it's the flesh, the natural thoughts. And so it's okay if your first thought is like, but it's what do you do after that? Do you continue to ponder on that, or do you rule it in and reroute it? Okay. And so I have a few things for us before we head up out of here. One thing, if you follow me on social media, you'll hear me saying from time to time, modify the modified. Modify the modified. Modify the modified started for me, again, I told you at my highest I was 515 pounds. And so I would go to the gym and I would work out, and many of the moves that was there at the gym, I could not do. And so they would give the modified version of it, right? But what do you do when even they give the modified version and you still cannot do? We know yoga, right? Some of us doing yoga, some of us may be pros at it, some of us may not be pros at it, and they give a modified version and you like, I still can't do it, you know? And so do you quit, or do you find something else? Even if your modified version is you just breathing at that time and absorbing it, you showed up here for yourself right now. Somebody saying this, modify the modified. That when they have the modified version, when they have the simplified version in life, no matter what it is, if it's raising the kids, if it's joining your marriage, if you got to modify that thing again, keep modifying it until it fits you. You're in competition with nobody. This is about your life, and like we said, perspective. You know, all things come from that. Another thing you'll hear me saying is whoop whoop. And some of y'all might even use the term whoop whoop, but for us it has a meaning. The W is willpower. To mentally know that you're able to get up out of this situation, to mentally know that I'm in this thing and I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna see my way out of no matter whatever situation it is. Hope is the H. Many of us, we have to work at visualizing things. When you visualize yourself to your goal, goal, it's a lot more likely that you'll reach your goal because you visualize yourself. And sometimes we tend to only be able to see what's in front of us, but we have to learn to be able to look into the future and visualize that thing. When I'm talking to some of my fabs and I'm telling them about our weight loss, I would often say the dress that you want to get into or whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe it's playing with your kids and it makes a difference. Go visualize yourself in that moment. What does it look like? What does it feel like for you in that moment? Whether if it's writing a book, picture yourself. You selling out. You at the table and everybody's coming to you. By the way, I can sign the books for you. Everybody's coming to you and you see them wanting to know who you are, wanting to buy your books. You have this beautiful young man here. See him graduating from college at the top of his class, having this phenomenal job. Yes, you. Seeing this stuff, you know. Then we have, optimistic. Looking at the glass more full than it is empty. Our perspective. Looking to see what blessing do we have inside of this situation that I'm in right now. I'm not going to think negative. I'm going to think positive. I'm going to think self-serving thoughts. And then the last O is oath. We make a promise to everything, everyone. But when it comes to making promises to ourselves, we tend to put ourselves on the back burner. You know, you said maybe you was going to go to the gym, but then the kids got extra homework, or this is happening. You said you were going to write the book, but then life be lifing and you don't get a chance. Like, we make promises. You might even have promises to the neighbor, you know, and you keep those promises, and sometimes you break your back. You feel guilty doing it, but you continue to keep those promises. But when it comes to ourselves, we tend to be like, it's okay. I'll do it when I do it. Tomorrow turns into years later. Like, make promises to yourself. And stand on your words to yourself. Like, don't drop, it's okay, love. Don't drop your promises that you have to yourself. And then P, perseverance. Push. We say push, pray, fight. Push, pray, fight. Push, pray, fight your way through whatever situation that you find yourself in. Like, losing, quitting, giving up is not an option. So we have to make sure that we persevere, that we push, pray, and fight our way through there. And then that's woo-woo. All right, guys? And so that is my time. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you taking the time to come here. I pray that there was something that said that sticks with you on today, and you're able to continue to spread your light, continue to reverse those thinkings, reframe those thinkings, and just be positive. You can follow me on social media, Clarissa Young. I'm a modified worker. I do chair workouts, all age levels and so forth. Most of it is gospel music. And so you can follow me on social media, on YouTube, Clarissa Young. Our website where you can join the support group as well is getfabfit.com. I have the little, what is it called, QR codes that you can scan here and so forth. I also have the books up here that you can purchase as well, and I'll sign them. So again, thank you, thank you.